Did you just get your copy of There's Treasure Inside and you're feeling behind? Well, so did we. I'm Emma.
And I'm Jam, and we are Treasure Hunt with Us.
We're so excited that you're here with us tonight because we're going to really dive into some things that we've been getting comments and questions about. We're hearing from so many of you that, like us, you're feeling like you started behind. We got our books in probably maybe the first week, second week of January, and we know that people have had it since the middle of October. Maybe actually it was November, I think.
November, yeah.
November 5th-ish, sorry. I keep thinking about that original release date that didn't happen.
Yes.
But we got our books late, and so we felt behind. And so a lot of people have asked us, well, how do we catch up? And this weekend, Jam is boots on the ground. Are you saying where you're going, boots on the ground?
Yeah, I'm boots
How
on the
could you
ground.
not? In the Tahoe
I'm
area.
boots in the ground in Tahoe for the past and future box. We haven't talked that much about it because there's snow on the ground. Probably not going to find anything, but so excited.
But if you've listened to us before, if you've seen any of our other videos, we're telling you how important it is to get boots on the ground. Now, please don't go freeze to death. I don't want to be sued. We'd like you to be safe. Yeah. That is JCB's message, is be safe. Nothing is going to be in a dangerous location. It's not going to, you don't have to get underwater. You don't have to dig. You don't have to climb into crazy places, but be safe. And obviously, if there's snow on the ground, he doesn't think you're going to find a box. And so that's important, right?
You got to scout the area is what I'm thinking, right? If I go back when it's melted, which a lot of people think April, I don't think it's going to be melted up there until May. Or how melted does it need to be? So, you just gotta get out there and see what you're looking at, see the area. Right. Is there anything that fits? Something we're going to first talk about right now, and I'm going to bring it up to share the screen.
Right. So one of the things we're going to talk about today is we're going to break down some of the things that people are asking about, like how does the cipher work? Sorry, how does the cryptogram work? What are the ciphers? How does the word search? How does it all tie together? I'm behind. Yes. So what you see here is obviously the cryptogram in the past and future box, and this is pretty simple. It's basically you swap out each letter to formulate the words. And so what you see in this situation is like every time you see an H, you're going to put an R. Every time you see a T, you're putting an F. Every time you see an M, you're putting a P, and so on and so on. And from this, you basically create this sentence. And so what you can read here is that this sentence says, from rock to field, from strong to stream, past tree and post to forest green, arrive you now where beauty sheens, it's under, over, in between. Wow, right? Like, what does that mean?
I think this is a boots on the ground clue. When you're boots on the ground, you're going to be looking for streams, for beauty sheens, waterfalls, right? Or are you looking down? For me, I'm looking at Lake Tahoe. Am I looking down at Tahoe and it looks like it has a beautiful sheen? So is it from that spot?
Right. And that's one thing. It's like, so when you think about being boots on the ground, and we do see this as a boots on the ground clue, for me, like I keep saying this, that everything JCB has intent behind it, and his use of words is so intentional. And so when I look at this, I'm saying, he's literally giving you a verbal map, right? And so we talked about this, like from rock to field. So is it the part where it's gravelly? And we haven't been boots on the ground here yet, so we don't know. Is it gravelly and then it opens up into a field? And then from strong to stream, is it like rushing heavy, hard water? And then it just goes to a trickle or creek? We don't know yet. We're going to get there. We're going to find out.
Yeah, and I believe there's posts in the Tahoe area. And look, we're not like other people. We're not trying to discourage people from looking in Ohio, which is a really popular spot. Oregon, I know, is a really popular spot. And
California.
So maybe California, right? Maybe this fits.
It wasn't
your
on
area
Treasure
also.
Island. If you've seen our short, it wasn't there.
Yeah, we're talking about Tahoe because that's literally where I'm going to be. That's where we think our best salt is right now. Is
and in fact, we're in Tahoe. He's in Tahoe this weekend, and if he doesn't find it, we're going to be back in Tahoe. What is that? The weekend of the 16th of March?
Yeah. March was still snow on the ground, but we're going to
listen. Maybe it'll be less snow. Maybe it'll be less. Hopefully, it's not more because I'm not a fan of the cold.
Yes.
But we will be there. So we're going to go up this weekend. He's going to do an initial scouting. He's going to walk around. He's going to take some videos.
I'm going to look for posts. I think there's posts out there on this Van Sickle Trail, which is where I'm going to be. And I think that there's going to be posts out there, and I'm going to pass them. I'm going to go right past them, and I'm going to look for a forest green. And I'm going to look where I arrive in the beauty sheens. That's all I'm going to do.
That's what it is. Because we believe that this is the map. Now,
I'm over, I'm under, I'm in between. I'm all over the place.
It's funny because, and I'll throw this out there, because for me, I'm like, I'm so used to the word salad. I've been on the Pokemon box for so long. Like
Yes.
everything is a crazy mind scuffle, and I'm trying to
Yeah.
find what the answers are. So when I read this different than he does. Now this is how most people, the consensus of everybody out there is that this is how this is written, and I'm still wondering if there's a scramble here. So
Yeah.
that's not a popular opinion. I'm not telling you to try to figure it out. Figure it out if you want. If you figure it out, call me and let me know,
Yeah.
or like shoot
Message
me a message,
us.
message me
Message
and let me
us,
know.
please.
If you have my phone number, that's kind of weird, but it's okay. I mean,
Yes.
you
I'll
know,
call you. I'll
you'll call,
call
oh,
you
you'll
and
call me.
say,
Oh, thanks.
you're wrong.
He's like,
And the
that's not
reason for
real.
that is I think most of the other clues in this chapter, there's words too. And we're going to go over that also in another
Right.
video and
Right.
stuff like that. But
Because remember, the intent of this round is that to get a real introduction to the different, ciphers and the word search, or sorry, not ciphers, the cryptogram and the word search, and really
yeah,
what they mean and how they do it. So this is really
yeah.
kind of introductory, and we'll kind of break into more of it later on. But we want to help people who just got the book, or maybe you've got the book and maybe this is part where you don't understand. Because for me, this is actually the hardest part of this entire book. This is not how I think. This is not how I see. And so
I
for me,
love it.
I had to see it. I know you love it. It's
I
your
love it.
favorite
This is
part.
my jam. This was
This
my
is
jam.
Jam's jam. Jam is jamming
yes.
on this,
I am
right?
absolutely jamming on this. This was what I started. We found our solve. We've been happy with our spots.
Right.
We just can't. We haven't been able to get it because of the snow. But
Right.
this is absolutely what I love. And there is some consensus to what we're about to show you.
Right.
And there's also a lot of controversies, and we're going to show you some of those controversies in
Right.
this word search. But there's parts of this where most people agree.
Right.
So,
And so if you followed the rules, you've read the whole book,
mhm.
and then you went back and you read it again, and you recognize that each chapter is individual. And one of the rules of this chapter is that specifically in this word search, is you're not going to use any three-letter words, and you can use some proper nouns. I love and hate the word some. I love and hate it.
Is that two? Is that three? Is that one?
So
Or is it
subjective,
none?
right? So
Oh,
subjective. It's not a few, it's not a
messing with
couple,
my
it's
mind.
some.
It might be because maybe yo man, which we'll talk about. Some people think that's a proper noun. Well, that would still mean you can use it if you
some
can
can be
use
used.
some.
Some.
So confusing.
Some.
So, but the basic consensus of this is the majority of people agree that this is lilac backwards. For example, there's 19 forward. There's also 9 backwards, right? You got count, you got 11, you got round, you got north. Kind of written them all over here. You could probably pause it and see the water. The lyre, which is rail, and these are really important. This rail line and stuff like that, and I'll show you
Right.
on the next possible screen here, right? So you can see here what we did is we took the leftover words and we put them in green, words that we think need to be anagrammed, and we put the letters that aren't used in gray, right? And then we have all these O's, and the O's are the outliers to these. So, and they kind of gives you this example in the rail line, right? So a lot of people think that railroad has something to do with it just from those 2 words right there. So what we do here is we take this and we look at the first one, THERE, there, ARER. In here you get 5 clues, CLUES. In this word search. And from here, you got but do not tell anyone. Now, the first controversy in this is why are we not using words like less or yeoman? Right? These are perfect examples. This is probably one of the most controversial words that people hate not using, stuff like that. But you don't even use the word less, and that could be because he said don't use three-letter words, and technically that's 3 letters. That's what a lot of people use to justify it. That's what he does to our brains.
Right, right.
So.
It's not a real word. It's not a real word. It doesn't even mean that anymore.
Yeah, and then another controversy right here. For this word clue, and what everybody kind of agrees on, not everybody, but the majority of people, use this word line, which is an actual word to say line them up.
Right.
Right? So that's kind of a second controversy. We're not using some words, and now we're using this word, which is an actual word.
An exact word.
And it could be because this is a special word, right? This is the one that he kind of teaches you that these O's are breakers, right? So
Right.
you can see word search, breaker, you know what I mean? You can see, the O's are kind of special breakers. And you can see how it surrounds the word lemon, which is a very interesting word if you're going to be using a vignere, which we could talk about later. But this is where we really get into there's multiple possible messages here, right? So, for example, this could be there are, or it could be 3 are. This could be on or no. And then this is special, bends, or, and then you can see here's another controversy. The S and the R over here, and to finish the word turns, they're on this side.
Which would
Just
be a special bend or a turn.
It would be. Maybe that's what he's
Would
doing
be.
as an example. So I guess it wouldn't be no special bends and turns. But don't tell that to the no special bends or people. They get upset. They like their
Yeah,
message.
they do get upset.
Just remain steady to, right? These are all anagrams. Complete the mission. Boom. Hard stop. Red X. I made it a red X, but it's a hard stop right there.
X does mark the spot, so
It
that's
really
fair.
does.
But to
So,
just kind of recap that
yeah.
piece that he's talking about, what you read to this point is there are 5 clues in this word search, but do not tell anyone. And then you have your first controversy.
We're blowing it. We're telling everybody.
We're telling everybody. No,
Yes.
but the first controversy, the word line being a
Yes.
solid word. Why is this a solid word when everything else is an anagram? Now you have line them up. There are no special bends or turns, or line them
Well,
up
that's
three.
we're gonna go with another possible example. Which sorry, I didn't change these colors, but if we do line them up, just about what you were about to say, 3.
Are on special bends or turns. Just remain steady to complete the mission.
Right. But what if? And let me just throw this out there. What if you did use the word eons, which bugs me because eons is in the book, right? And we didn't use eons. What if you did use the word eons? And even though I didn't write it here, what if you use this as a rail word search? So what if you said there are 5 clues in this rail word search, but do not tell anyone, line them up. There are special bends and turns. And because there are special bends and turns, you just have to remain steady to complete the mission.
Right.
So that's another possibility. There's probably other ones too. And what people are going to do is they're going to find messages that fit them, that fit their area, that fit
Right.
their clues. And
Just like confirmation bias, it's now word search bias.
and I
all
love
the new
confirmation bias.
biases.
And when I say I love all the biases, here's what I do. I use all the messages and I try to apply it to what I'm trying to do in this word search. Well, can I do 3 bends and turns? Can I do no special bends and turns and stuff like that? So you just have to use it. Don't be stuck on one message. That's our message.
I wish I
Don't be
could
stuck on
remember.
one
Remember the
message.
first time we looked at this word search and we were like going crazy because we found something we thought led straight to Asheville because of the
Yeah, and I'll tell you what it is right here where it says west, it literally says west the ump. And
West the ump. And we researched it.
Joe
And Matt,
West is an umpire. So maybe that's something someone didn't know. Maybe it triggers
yeah,
something. Maybe that helps
right.
someone find this box in North Carolina.
Well, and maybe West the ump is part of the lion's share.
That may be West, and it's in North Carolina. That's your
And it's in
favorite
North
theory,
Carolina.
too.
But that's when we were first getting started and we hadn't really become part of this great community that's really, it's funny, like K-Pro talks about give a penny, take a penny kind of thing. But I will tell you, as every time we tell somebody or talk to somebody and we're learning something every day, and I've been crazy busy this week and Jam's had a lot more time in Discord and like really communicating with people. But every time we're
They're
learning
great.
something,
So many amazing people. They're all sharing ideas. They're great.
it's like talk about community. I mean, I think if JCB is in there and he's part of this as like a secret name, which I really love to believe that he is, he's got to be so excited by what's happening here
Or
because
he's laughing at us, going, these idiots aren't even close.
well, I guarantee you that's certainly possible, but I think he's
Yeah.
more excited because I think he wanted a couple things from this. I think he wanted to really stimulate people's minds. I think we come from a time when we played outside till the lights went off, right? He comes
Right.
from that time too. I'm one
Yeah.
year older than him. I happen to know this, right? You know, I'm a year older than him. We didn't come home until the lights were on. We were outside all day long. Everything we did was with every game we played took a little bit more of our brains, like whether it was Risk. I mean, think about how much you mind power you use to play a good quality game of Risk, right? All of those games we played growing up, they're just so different and we utilized our minds. And those are things that are kind of missing from today, right? So I think for
Yeah.
JCB, as he was creating this and like he really put so much thought into all of this, he was like, I'm going to get people thinking, I'm going to get people moving. And if they find some treasure along the way, isn't that great for everybody?
It's great for me if we find it. So, and if you
Way
find
to
it,
care about the community, Jam. That's a good one.
if you find it, I was talking to someone today, come on our show. They agreed. I'm hoping they find it. They're going to come on our show. They're going to talk about it. But I told them, like we tell everybody, do not come out right away. Remain anonymous. Get your ducks
As long
in
as
order.
possible.
Make sure you're covered and before you come out and stuff.
Right.
So even us, we'll be minimum probably.
I still
2
love how
weeks.
Coy did it when he found his first treasure. That was fun. And
Treasure hunters, they find clues. They will find out everything about you in a heartbeat. I mean, they're so good at finding clues. Some of these clues people get, I'm like, that's brilliant. And
I'm like, why are you so much smarter than me?
Yeah.
I'm like, don't you see this fake blonde hair? It's
Well,
holding me back.
I mean, here's the thing: is when I'm doing this and I'm finding this, and I found the word search in here, and I'm like, Aaron, oh my gosh! And we both start going through it, and we realize that there's clues in the missing letters and stuff, and we do it, and then we realize, oh, everybody already has this. You know, we're like, oh well, okay, then.
We're like, wow, we
I wish
thought we
someone
were so
would have told
smart.
us. Yeah.
But then,
yeah.
but then you have to admit though, when you think about this. So again, I don't think like this. Like we did word searches. We have a sister that's a little bit older than us, and when we were young, we would literally pull out a page of a word search, and we would all race to see who would get done with their word search first.
Yeah.
Inevitably, it was her. She's very, very intelligent. It's kind of irritating.
Allegedly. There's no video proof.
That's true. It was the 80s. There's no video proof. Thank God.
No video proof.
Also, all of my haircuts are gone too, for the most part, thanks to a couple
goodness.
floods that got rid of most of our pictures. But there's no proof of any of that. But the reality is, the number of hours we spent on the ground, you'd think I'd be way better at this than I am. I'm really just not. But then we come through.
We are doing great. We are killing this.
Yeah,
this,
but my point
so.
is, like, you're really good at the cipher side of it, or and then I come through and I word salad the crap out of it, and I take a wrench and I throw it straight in the middle of all of our stuff. I'm like, what if it really means this?
I know. You do that a lot.
You're welcome.
Like, stop
it's
messing up my thing.
You're like, that doesn't line up with my bias, and I'm like, let's get an extra bias. Let's just 2 biases never hurt.
Yes. So that's going to bring us to the next part of this word search, and we're going to kind of give you a clue, right? So I took this whole entire bottom corner right here, and I moved it down here because I really want to talk about this at the start of it, right? And this is kind of an example, right? We're still playing the anagram game, right? And that's what we do. And in here, he tells us, and I was going to try to do it letter by letter, but this might be brutal if I do it like this. But he tells us basically... Oh, I'm even doing it wrong. It should be play, right? So I should do the word play first. And he tells us to play basic ciphers. So there's play, and you basically just remove the letters. I would use an online cipher solver for word scramble, anagram. And it's basically going to be basic ciphers. And I wrote it over here, play basic ciphers. And this is what he's telling you to do. Play basic ciphers. You know, this is going to be how you solve this word clue. So we did the anagram, and now he's going to say play basic ciphers. So the first other thing he does is in the middle of this cipher, kind of gives us another clue, right? He goes, not only, I'm going to give you your first one, right? I'm going to give you a cipher to play. And one of the first ciphers you're going to play in this word search, and you're going to then try this on everything, is a Caesar cipher. This is a really popular cipher, and basically what it is it basically takes the letter A, for example, and if you shift it over 1, it will now be the letter B, right? If you shift it 3, it's now going to be the letter D. That's what a Caesar cipher is. It's basically shifting the letters, whatever it is. And this is what he's telling you to do. Play basic ciphers. Try a Caesar cipher. That's one of the basic ciphers. He even says in there it's no grand cipher, but there is play basic ciphers. So one basic cipher, this QVE, if you put it, and you don't have to do this, you don't have to count the letters, but if you put this in, I use D word and stuff like that for my Caesar cipher, you put it in there, and we shift 19 letters, you get the letters JON. And then for BMA, it's a reverse 19, right? because it's on the opposite side, and you go negative 19, you get THS, I believe. And then this one, you shift 0, you get APS, which I just wiped. Good job, me. We're going to leave it there because I can't make that go back because I don't have this up yet. But anyways, and then you do IRR and you shift that 0 also. You get join the path. No, you get, join the pairs. And if you don't use IRE because it's part of Sapphire, you get join paths. So again, it's a controversy, another controversy.
So much controversy.
It is in this word search, and you're going to get, there we go. Let me get this back. I don't know why it's not. Oh.
Well, while he's doing that, I mean, you talk about controversy. The great divide happens when you start talking about how to use these ciphers. And it's so interesting listening to how people get so deeply rooted in their thoughts and their theories. And it's almost like we joke about being book purists or chapter purists. Well, there's people who are truly cipher purists, and it's just, I find it so unbelievably interesting to listen to people talk about it because it's different. Like I said, it's different than how I think. And if you're like me and you're listening to this or you're watching this and you go, wait a minute, this is just so different. It's going to help you. So as you're giving your pennies in other arenas, this may be the spot where you're taking your penny. And for those of you this is your introduction to how this word search works. And this is your opportunity to really learn here. And just don't forget to give back. Don't forget to join these discussions in Discord. And there's the 2 main Discords out there. I can never think of the name of the second one.
Mystery Writings is also another good Discord.
Mystery Writings. Yes. I have it on mine. I definitely go in there. I definitely listen to some stuff and read some stuff. I'm much more active in Calazar's.
We are much more active in Calazar's, but I am in Mystery Writings.
I am as well, and I do find I found some great stuff in there, and I've had some great conversations with people. They've been very, very, there's a lot of us, there's overlap, right? Like we're all seeing each other over and over again, but it's just interesting the different perspectives in the different Discords. But certainly as you're out there, just make sure that you're giving as much as you're taking, and as an introductory person, don't be afraid to ask questions about how people find solves, and don't be if they're sharing what they've found, don't be afraid to ask questions about it. But just try to be respectful that you're not trying to take their clue. A lot of times people want to give you something, they don't necessarily want to give you everything.
It's true. And I was talking to someone today and stuff like that, and they just got the book, right? They're just starting. They were asking all sorts of questions about this, and I was like, it's so funny. We are making a video today.
Right. We've been talking about this video since last Thursday, and
it's right here.
My work schedule has just not allowed it. I feel so bad.
Yes. So the other thing, right? We're going to talk about in later videos, right? We're going to talk about the 5x2. This is leftover letters. What can we do with that? We're going to talk more Caesar shifts. We're going to talk about a Vignier, right? We're basically use that. And that's where the word lemon is going to come into play. Most people, I thought I figured that out, and I thought I was brilliant. And then I see someone go, I need more cowbell. And I'm like, oh, no, I'm not the only one that got this. I'm not special. So what's it called? So then you might play some games like war games. We might play Pac-Man, a Monty Python. We might play some Ready Player One, which is highly recommended in this word search. So that's our introduction. That's what it should get you started on this word search chapter. And we didn't even go over the part where people always talk about the word search. They leave out the part that there's other words in here where he talks about, his grandma and grandpa and all that. And
there's so much. And we did talk about interesting. Yeah. And again, we come back to his word salad. I think that for Jam, he really felt like this was a straightforward chapter. But then when I read it, I'm like, oh my gosh, what about this? And what about this? And what about that? And he's like, wait, what?
Boxitis.
Yeah. I do probably have a little Pokemon boxitis. And with that said, I will be boots on the ground this weekend as well. I will be back in Arkansas at the Buffalo National River, spending a couple days freezing my butt off, trying to find a treasure. We're going to be looking at 3 different locations where we think we have some possible solves. Yeah. Weather and time permitting. But between Jam being in Tahoe and me being in Arkansas, we'll definitely have a lot to say next week, as if we don't always have a lot to say.
We always have a lot to say.
Yeah, always have a lot to say.
Some stuff's interesting. We might just say one little tidbit of information that you're like, oh, that is different for me. and
Right.
you just help me out, and that's our goal. You know what I mean? We're out. People are like, "Why are you doing that?" I'm like, "What if you give away clues and stuff?"
Yeah.
This is a
We
time
don't
for me to
care.
no, I'm spending time with my sister. This is the
Yep.
opportunity. This is family time. This is why we
Right.
do it. I have so much fun doing this with you.
I have so much fun doing this with you too. And the reality is this, is that when I say we don't care, it's like it's not that we don't care that we've given you a clue and now you got to find a box. Why we're doing this for us is to get this quality time. So if somebody
Yeah,
finds a box from something we said, we're so grateful that we got to help you in your journey, because this
yeah.
is about community for us.
It's
And
about
we've had
treasure
such
hunting
a
with us.
great, yeah, treasure hunting with us. We've had a great response from the community out there.
Oh my
We've
gosh.
met some fantastic people. Some
We forgot
fantastic people.
again every time. Like, comment, subscribe. Why can we never remember that? We are at 160 subscribers. This is insane to us. We're
Yeah, we
going
thought
for
maybe
1,000.
our
That's our
mom would
goal.
follow us. We thought our mom would
She
follow us for
did.
sure.
She
She did
did.
follow us. She comments
Yes.
sometimes too. She's like, "Oh, you guys are having so much fun. It's
You're so
adorable.
cute. It's
It's so
real
cute.
sweet.
You guys are
Yeah.
just having such a good time." And then our brother is out there, and he's like, "You should really be asking me how to pack your bag and
I'm
wash
a
this stuff."
scientist, which
He
he is.
is a
So,
listen. Without that scientist, we would. He does. He
yeah.
helps me with some stuff. He did send me something about tying my shoes today. You know, that's a topic for people, is for how I'm going to tie my shoes. So,
You need to go back to the REI guy. If you don't go back,
I
I want
have to
some
go to
more.
REI tomorrow.
We're
I
gonna
have
have
to
to
go
get
to REI
REI
tomorrow.
guy on our podcast or on our YouTube and
He's
have
gonna
him
be like,
interview
"Listen,
him.
here's
I'm
the
gonna
thing.
explain it.
She doesn't know how to tie her shoes."
But she's not the only one. You
Nope,
probably don't
apparently it's a
either.
common theme, which is like JCB. Everything's with a common theme. And so that's one thing to note. So, like Jam said, don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow. But also, if you have questions, things you want us to send videos about, things you want us
Private,
to look at.
right?
I'm sorry?
You want to keep it private, or let's
Yeah,
say
you
you
want to
want
keep
to see
private messages. The people message us all the time.
email.
All the time.
Email comments at treasurehuntwithus.com. I'll put it up on
Right.
the screen so
Right.
that people can see it. But yeah, even what's it called? We chat with this, and people are like,
Right. You
"Oh
see us in
wow, I can't believe you're
Discord,
giving me
message us.
information." You know, a lot of people are worried about getting information. Am I not?
Yeah.
Am I going to just take it, not give it back? But
Right.
I don't. I was talking with someone the other day through our email system, going back and forth. He had some great ideas, and I
Some
hopefully
great ideas.
gave him some great ideas. So. That's how it works.
Exactly. And just don't be afraid to communicate with us. And if there's something, like I said, he's boots on the ground in Tahoe. I'm boots on the ground in Arkansas. If there's something you want us to have a peek at while we're there, if there's time, we're glad to do it. You know, I'll send you a picture from things if it's not going to, I'm not going to hang from trees for anybody.
Yeah,
But,
well, we're not going to go where we're not going to. So
Yeah,
if you
that's
wanted us
true.
to look in Hemden Hollows, we did that. We're not going back.
I did that.
It's
I'm
not
still.
there.
It took me like a week to stop being sore from that. So I mean, I'll be kayaking or canoeing in next time, which may be this weekend if I can convince Scott to get into a canoe and like let me get closer to go. I mean, I really loved. I hope you're
There's
enjoying our
no
shorts
water
about
vessels.
Granny Henderson's house. There's going to be a couple more
Mm-hmm.
pieces coming out. I tried to get Scott to release one today. He's going
You
to
got to
release one
bring
tomorrow.
your ghost stuff. We could have two. We could do one on
We're
treasure
gonna be-
hunting.
We're gonna
We'll
have
be
so
the
many
first.
YouTube channels.
We'll
Mom
be
will
the
be
first
subscribing to all of
treasure
them.
hunting ghost hunters in one channel.
You're a treasure ghost
You're
hunter.
one stop.
She wears a patch so she can see them all.
Yes, we will do it all. We will ghost hunt with
Yeah.
you. We'll
I
pirate
love to
hunt
ghost
with you.
hunt.
We'll
That
treasure
stuff
hunt
is
with
fun.
you. Yes.
But if you're seeing those shorts, that house was. I mean, everybody keeps saying to me, it's not in a man-made. I know, but Scott couldn't help it. He had to look.
Well, technically, it's not in an man-made. He found a hole in the ground. That would be under.
He had
a
to see what was
man-made.
under it. He's like, maybe it's down here because he's so. I'm like, it's but I'm not gonna. He was really
Yeah.
aggressive about it. Like he was really aggressive about all that. And
It
his
sounded like he was
research-
ripping up a board, and then I realized, oh no, he just dropped his pole. So I'm
He
like,
dropped
did he
his
just rip
pole,
the
and he
pole
dropped
up?
his water bottle, and
I know.
he dropped like 4 things, and people are
I
like,
know.
he's carrying the wood up. I promise you, he didn't hurt any property.
We did not. Yes, we would
We
never
did not break any
destroy
property. I
any
also
property.
do
That's
not
a
believe
beautiful
it's in
place.
the house, but there was when I say that there was something majestic about that home or something hauntingly beautiful. It was like it's so small when you're inside there, and you're like 2 full-grown adults lived inside this little tiny house, and it just. I mean, I'm like 5'5.5", and I just kept thinking. I mean, I could reach up and touch the ceiling. Like, how small were these people? You
Well,
know?
someone said they made a really good comment. People were smaller back then, right?
That's
And,
true. Gosh, it's so
yes,
true.
good point.
And like when you look at their master bedroom was like, or what do you call it? I don't even know the word you use anymore instead of master bedroom. But whatever that room is, their main bedroom upstairs, it's just like this miniature little thing. It was this little miniature. I'm like, that's like, It's just crazy. But this simple life, this simple, beautiful life,
In
that
this
they had.
beautiful area. What a
Yeah, it's
beautiful
so
area that
stunning.
is.
So stunning. But yeah, so more will come this week. So we'll have a couple more shorts about the remainder of that Granny Henderson's house coming out this week. This will be up in the next, 24 hours, you think?
This will be up less than 24 hours.
In less than 24 hours. We will both have some videos related to being boots on the ground. We'll both come back. We'll come back this next Monday and talk about being boots on the ground. Kind of go through some of the things that we found, some of the things we didn't find. Hopefully the thing we'll be talking about is finding a box, maybe 2 boxes.
Yeah, we'll go over both our boots on the ground experience, and
Right.
we'll talk about some of the things we saw, what can be possibly clues,
Yeah.
the help on both the Pokemon box and the past and future box.
Thanks so much for coming out and hanging out with us today, guys. I know it's been 30 minutes of your time. We want to let everybody jump off because there's a huge, huge special coming out. K-Pro and Calzar have.
They're talking
Oh my
to
gosh, we have
Dave.
Dave. They're talking to Dave tonight. And that's another thing, too. We're going to be putting out a video tearing apart the 3rd edition of the American Treasure because I feel like there are so many hints and clues to learning who
Good
John
stuff.
is and the themes of who he is in that. So we're going to definitely break that apart for you this next week too. Thanks for coming out. Have a great night, guys.
Treasure hunt with us, we gon' light it up. There's treasure inside, yeah, we rising up. If you're gonna treasure hunt, why not treasure hunt with us? We the ones, we the truth, yeah.